Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here this afternoon with our friends in California. Good terms. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on chatting with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
California. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do hang loose before we started recording, and I'm like, yeah, that's why. California, hang loose. You get it. Get it.
I've adopted that since moving here.
I do it all the time anyway.
That's the main emoji that I use. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys do instead of doing the peace signs? You're like, hey guys, what's up?
I don't use it very much, honestly. Like,
oh man,
sometimes I don't know. It sneaks its way in there, and sometimes I'm like, why did I just do that? Like, that's not part of my normal being. And
I definitely do it several times every day, so you can pick it up.
The emoji works. Sometimes I feel like sometimes because like all that we do is communicate with other musicians and other people in the music industry. So I feel like the rock fingers emoji is like very overused, and it's almost thumbs up where it's like doesn't have enough personality. But the shakabrah is like, this is my own.
Shakabrah.
Like I can claim this and be like, I'm the only person sending you this.
Yeah.
Tag yourself. Are you shakabrah or rock dude in 2021?
Well, I also used to be this.
Yeah.
Just different things mean like salutations is like a strong like I'm casting a fishing rod. Peace. But then like every other time it's just like, oh, all right, dude, it's cool. And especially if things are going horribly fucking wrong, it's just like, yeah, man, it's great. And just try to shakabrah the pain away.
It's fucking sick.
The sarcastic shakabrah. So I have to tell a quick shakabrah story. My roommate Brian Jones and all of our mutual best friend, he was playing a show one time. He was playing a festival, and he looked to like the side of the stage, and Jack Johnson, the artist Jack Johnson,
bubbly toes,
was standing side stage. And was like, he said he was just like jamming and having a great time, and he looked. He said he looked at him and just gave him a shakabrah. Like he's like on stage at like a festival, and he looked back at him and gave him a shakabrah back.
Oh my god!
That's like
secret shakabrah.
He was like, yeah,
that's
that
like
was
hearing
like
from God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like that guy could have given him $1 million, and the shakabrah would have meant more. It was like, damn, I got a shakabrah from Jack Johnson. Like, that's so great.
That's wild shit. That's like getting this from Jack Black, or like a sleeveless hoodie from Bill Belichick. It's just like, you own this. You literally own this thing.
This is your thing.
Oh my god!
Like, you had a song called "Banana Pancakes," and it was a
I was
hit
literally
single.
just thinking that.
Like, I think like you get shakabrah. I don't think you own shoes. You get shakabrah.
I don't think you own shoes. Well, let's get you guys to introduce yourself individually, just so the pod can get familiar with your voice, and then you can include who you shakabrah back to on side stage.
Who shakabrah would mean the most to you in the world?
Oh my gosh, great question. Well, hey, I am also Brian. I am the lead singer. I play guitar. You can call me Kid in your head, listener, if that makes it easy for you to distinguish between me and the host. You know what's actually freaking crazy is that my sister's name is Lizzie. And one time when I was in high school, Liz, my sister, and I went to the gym, and we had like sessions with personal trainers, and I had a trainer named Lizzie, and she had one named Brian. So this is kind of weird.
They work well together.
We're gonna have to fight everybody with these similar pairings now.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's all I'm hearing. Does your sister spell with an IE or a Y or just an I? I've seen girls spell it just okay. So we're both the same then.
Yeah, you're the same, and I spell Brian the same, the chill ass way.
Good. The only
no Y's.
Only way to do it.
Yeah, man, dude, let Ryan have that. Ryan's got that.
You got the Y, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who my most important shakabrah would be from backstage. That I kind of want to go back at the end because I just jumped in to do this introduction first. But I don't. Man, whose shakabrah would mean the most to me? I don't know.
I love this question, by the way. We've been like,
imagine
how
him
do we
like
introduce
standing up in like the middle of a classroom and be like, man, I just don't know.
Yeah.
Let me just think about just standing there like a hot minute. And everyone's like,
dude,
contemplating your shakabrah. fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. Who is it gonna be? Because like, I don't know. My usual funny influence answer is AC/DC and Angus Young because I feel like nobody.
Angus Young's the answer, dude.
Dude, I don't know, but I don't know if Angus Young's shakabrah. Okay, I guess maybe.
It makes it even funnier if he doesn't.
Yeah.
I just imagine him headbanging. I don't imagine him looking at me or making he's like an animal from the Muppets kind of character, you know? Maybe Brian Johnson from the singer AC/DC.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that feels right.
All right, Zach.
Yeah, Zach, you got it. Hey, everyone, this is Zach.
Hi, guys. My name is Zach Boucher. I play guitar in Good Terms, and I also produce. I produced our last record, the whole thing, with a lot of help from our bass player Gio, who's also a fantastic producer and engineer. He mixed it. Gio mixed it. But yeah, and all three of us are kind of like the main lyricists. Gio contributes in that department as well, but the three of us are who primarily wrote the songs, lyrically and melody and all that. And yeah, that's sort of my role. I have to answer shakabrah. Oh, I know. If I got a shakabrah, if I got a side stage shakabrah from Phoebe Bridgers, I think that would be the most validated I've ever felt. Yeah, I'll stick with Phoebe. I had another one, but I'll just leave it out.
That's a strong one, though. That's pretty strong.
Like Phoebe, the other one is Tyler the Creator, because I think
also
both
strong.
of them. I think both of them are the two coolest individuals. Like they're just like it's if they could do anything. They could do whatever is considered the most lame thing, and they'd be like, fuck, they're so cool. Like, and they just change it. They just change the narrative. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that's my answer.
Like that.
Listen, Tyler, I saw Taylor the Creative at Lollapalooza, and the dude's running around taking hits of his inhaler, as I do because I am also asthmatic on stage. And I was like, you know what? I love that. I love the visibility for the asthma addicts on here.
He's one of the most athletic individuals I've ever come across in my life. He's outrageous. He's like 6'6", and like I'm fairly certain with like a year of practice he could start on like his sport of choice. Definitely. He's wild. Hi guys, I'm Ivan. I am the inexplicably third guitar player in this band. I also do some background vocals, and like the rest of my compatriots, I write and do all kinds of funny stuff. And for whatever reason, today on this day, our Thursday, the shakabrah question was so quickly answered in my mind, and I couldn't tell you why, but it just came to me so fast that. Both Michelle and Barack Obama.
Okay.
If I was playing on stage and I looked over to my left and Michelle and Barack Obama wearing linen button-ups and pants.
Yeah.
We're just like,
dude, it's mostly Michelle, right?
It's mostly Michelle.
It's like if Barack like looked at me and like was like, yeah, man, I'd be like, sick, dude. And then his wife looks over and is like, nah, for real, man. I'd be like,
I was gonna say if it could be one, it would be Michelle, but preferably the pair in synchronicity. Yeah.
Dude, see,
think of like a Havana linen outfit.
Oh my God!
That's
you're waiting for the yearly Obama. What's on my workout playlist? And you're gonna say Good Terms better fucking be on there.
Good Terms on the playlist.
I've known it. Crazier things have happened.
His music taste is too good to include Good Terms, if we're being honest.
Hey, I've seen stranger things happen, but
that's true.
It's very clearly going to be the Obamas for me, and then I would immediately cease living because that is.
You're like, what do I do?
That is the premier answer for that question, Ivan. Bravo.
I was like, musicians. Wait, Michelle Obama.
Wait, we're gonna do a hard left turn right now, guys. You are not gonna believe it.
Do it.
Incredible. So yeah, that's my answer.
Sick. Well, yeah, I love that question, and we're gonna probably use it from now on as like our little like icebreaker thing because that's.
I feel like if most other people though, on like other parts of like the country, would be like, "What's a shakabrah?" Because I've never heard of that until right now. I just always thought this was like the hang loose, hang 10 type vibe.
It's hang loose, hang 10. Yeah, it's whatever you want to call it, but everyone knows it.
But it could also be your gesture of choice. You know, if the shakabrah doesn't mean anything to you, You know, then hey, who do you want a peace sign? Who do you want to flip you off from backstage?
My answer is
who do you? Oh my god!
Just looking over to see the Obamas leaving in disgust.
I mean, don't you casually just flip off people? Like my brother will casually flip me off sometimes. He'll be like, "Hey," and then he just does this to me, and I'm like, "Hey."
Oh, all
I
the
really
time.
like the forward facing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Our other friend Brian pioneered that one for me. But if I'm being real, my favorite gesture that I could receive from both the Obama, specifically Michelle, would just be just Michelle just going hard with her
stronghold,
fucking
just like
it's like tough. It's like, oh yeah,
it's tough like me, boy.
Yeah, but that song. I just like finish a breakdown. She's just like, oh fuck yeah.
Michelle, get in the pit. All right. Well, let's talk about your debut album, Turning Point, which came out in April. Let's talk about it. You brought up that it was all mixed and recorded by yourselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
That's why Ivan is so has no idea what time it is because we did a lot of stuff. We did a lot of stuff.
Okay.
It was a lot of work to get it all the way through, but we did it. A lot of help.
Yeah,
a lot of help from you guys. Gio is the man. Zach is the man. Honestly, everyone in this band is the man, but me. I kind of just sit there and like write and sing and play and whatnot. But like these guys are like running around doing all of that
all the important shit
and making sure that like everything's in phase and everything's arranged right and mixed right and all that shit.
That's on Gio, man.
We facilitate everything for Brian to just be a fucking rock star, and he does. He has that skill that the three of us are working on, but he's just got it. Whatever it is, he does the thing. But yeah, to elaborate on that, I don't know if you had a follow-up question or if you just wanted us to talk about it.
No, I just wanted to see. Yeah, just tell us about it.
Yeah, man, where to begin? A lot of it started just Good Terms is sort of like my initial brainchild, and all of it just kind of started as like we all went to school for music, and we've all had kind of various paths that were kind of like, this is how I want to be a professional and such. And I think all of us around the same time kind of realized like, oh, this path that I had possibly been moving on was just not correct and just didn't feel right. Or even if I had thought that it was correct for me or idealized it in some way, it's just wasn't. And for me, I think I realized on, the same, in our own way, all of us did this, but personally mine was like, I was working at a record label and I was like I felt really distant from music and all the reasons that I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, man, I just want to make a band with my friends, but there was really no way I didn't want to convince everybody. I didn't want to have I wanted just to be able to be like, press spacebar and it's like, hey, you like this? You want to do it with me? Here's everything that I would have spent, forever talking about, but it's just right here. So I spent a really long time just honestly, I mean, I had already produced before, and I considered myself a producer at that time, but it wasn't until really finishing the record that I was like, okay, yeah, I'm a producer. But I think I had to use our songs to like gain that confidence in myself and all of that. But it really just began as like me coming home from work every day and making a ton of tracks. Like there's probably close to 30 like full song, completely arranged guitar, bass, drums. Some of them had lyrics, some of them were like previous written songs, whatever. And I just built this folder, and I think that's kind of where I found what I wanted to make. And a lot of those also were co-writes, some with Gio, some with Ivan. Ivan at the time was living in Virginia, and he Ivan and I grew up playing music together. Also, all three of us are originally from Virginia, but Ivan and I have been best friends since we were in middle school, and we just have written songs together all of our lives. And I was like, Ivan fucks with this music. Like, I just need some ideas. Like, let me just write some songs with my buddy. And we ended up making a lot of songs and made the record together. Same thing with Gio, because he was out here with me in LA. And then when Brian moved to LA a couple years after us, that was really when it all kind of like started coming together, and he just demoed a song that was previously written by me and my friend Sam, the song All I Can, track 1 of the album. And we were like, whoa, holy fuck, like I think you're the singer. And then me, Ivan, and Kid all wrote a song together, the second track, Hamster Wheel. That was the first song that the three of us wrote together. We made the track together from scratch. We wrote all the lyrics and melodies together from scratch. Like, and then that after doing those two, we were all like, okay, yeah, like this is a thing. And it kind of just continued from there. Like, I think just knowing enough from production, I was able to like, my demos were kind of like, some people might hear them and be like, oh, you should just release this. But there was some inconsistency throughout all of it. But we got to a point where it was like, all right, cool. We like these songs. They're going to make the album. What's keepable? What's not keepable? There were some songs we re-recorded vocals for. Almost all the songs we re-recorded the guitar on because some of them had dated back like to, a couple years prior or something, just like the guitar that was on it. And just finished it. And then we hired our friend Brendan, who's a fucking amazing drummer and session musician and just all around like insanely good, badass musician. And he tracked the drums for it. And that was it. It was kind of like, it was the only way that it would have gotten done. And obviously like I had an insane amount of help from everybody. I mean, it was the Pro Tools on my computer. I was spearheading it, but it was definitely like a collective effort to finish all of it.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience. Like for me, it was definitely. Actually, I'll just tell my story because my story is really funny too. Because my perspective on this whole thing is, like, I've been friends with Zach for a long time. I've been kind of like following him, like in college. Like, I went to the same college, stayed with you when I went to college. He was in a cover band, and he left the cover band. And I took his spot in the cover band. He was living in a house, and he left the house. I took his spot in the house, and his furniture he left in the house.
Yes, that's right.
And so it's like comical. And throughout all this time, like, I know Zach, but I'm really just like, I like see him every 4 years, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you want all my stuff?" That's like kind of my relationship. And because we were in a band like a long time ago, that's how I originally knew him. Yeah. And so at one point I was visiting LA before I moved out here, and first night I went to this bar it was our friend's birthday. I didn't realize that like every single person I knew in LA was going to be there, which was sick. And Zach was there, very drunk, and was telling me like, dude, I knew he worked at a record label, and he was like, dude, I'm going to quit my job. Like, I'm going to start a band, like the one we wanted to start in high school, like heavy. And he had the whole thing like spelled out, and he's like, "This is what we're gonna do, and you should be in it." And I was like, "Sick, dude! Hell yeah! Like, I want to move here, like, being in a pop punk band with Zach, like for real, that'd be sick." And then like a month before I moved here, he sent me like a completed song with someone else singing, and I wasn't supposed to be the singer at this point, but I was just like, "Oh, you went and did it." Like, oh, okay. And I got here, and Zach would like hint at this pop punk bands, and at one point asked me to demo stuff for it. And I was like, "Yeah, I want to like. Do you not remember?" And it was like, "No, man, I was really drunk."
Yeah, no recollection whatsoever.
So I went into like the first month I lived in LA. I went into to do demo vocals for All I Can, and those are that was it. Like, I heard myself back. It was the first time I'd ever, someone had ever been like a producer for my vocals, had been like, "Hey man, hold this note longer, do this kind of vibrato, more blah blah blah," all the stuff that we do. And I heard myself back and was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I didn't know I could sound like that. Like, I knew I thought of myself as a singer. I think of myself as a guitar player first, but like I thought of myself as a singer, but I didn't know I could sound like that. So that was a big wake up call, being like, "Oh, what the hell is this? Let's do this more." And then after we did Hamster Wheel, he was like, we called me into his room one day, and he was like, "Hey man, like a big thing to ask you. Do you want to be in this band?" And I was like, "Yeah!
Oh my god!
Yes!"
Dude, I'll never forget your reaction to that.
Oh my
For
god!
anybody listening to the audio version later on, you have to go watch the YouTube video just to see this reaction, and then you can go back to just listening to it straight.
Yeah, I mean, that's an artistic representation, but yeah, that's what it was. So that was my story.
No, that was accurate. You were like, "Oh, yes," because you were like kind of like, "Yeah, man, that's all good. It's like cool. Let's like make some music." Yeah, before it, and then as soon as I was like, "Hey, you want to do this?" Literally, you're sitting right there on the corner of my bed, and you were like, Yeah, man. Yes, of course I fucking do.
Yeah, man. Because it was just
incredible shit.
It was just right. It was just, it was doing pop punk, which I had kind of not done for a long time, and I just felt like it sounded so good, and the songs were getting to be so good, and we wrote with Ivan this one time that he was visiting, and that was really great. When we wrote Hamster Wheel, that was like this enlightening thing, and then getting Gio involved was kind of being like, all right, now let's make this good enough to show to Gio, and make it so that he'll think this is cool, which we did, and it worked, and now he's in our band, and and then Ivan had kind of the same thing as me, where it was Zach was like, Ivan, I think it was in our first band meeting, and we're like, all right, so these are the songs for the album. Ivan, I'm assuming you want to be in this band. And Ivan was like,
it was super. It was like, it was literally us talking about what songs were going to make the record.
Yeah. So Zach definitely thought he had to
like these ones. And I'm sitting in the room thinking, I'm in a meeting with my band. And Zach, at one point, with the 4 of us in his room, just turns to me and he's like, so, like, do you want to do this? And I was like, motherfucker, I've co-written half the songs.
This sounds like the most chaotic, like, coming of age, like, teenage, early college movie where you're like, so, I know you're here and you made this track, but are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to be one with us?
It reminds me of like as I like to play gratuitous, like bluesy, jammy, jazzy music, which everyone, when you were a kid, everyone wanted to do that because that's really fun to do. And as you grow up, like people want to do it less and less and less because it's very silly and self-serving. And so I get what it's like to be like, hey man, like I know this is kind of like, this may seem silly, but like, you want to go do this like really hard? It'll be really, really fun. And I guess Zach just thought that like we were all like, nah, man, I don't want, like, yeah, I wrote half a record with you, but like, no, I don't want to be in a pop punk band.
It's like I cleared my schedule for this, dog.
I think so. If I can explain myself a little bit,
you need to.
Basically, the way I viewed it, sort of, is like, we're dating. We've gone on a couple dates. We've like had a nice time together. It seems like it's all working, but then it's like, all right, but are we in a relationship? And that's like, that's and when you get to that point and you all mutually agree, it's like, okay, you need that trial period, because it would seem kind of insane if you were like, let's say you just, I mean, these are my friends, so it's a bit of a different story, but I've seen in other people, like, especially I've had experience of this myself too, a little bit, kind of like back in high school, but really more so just watching friends try to put projects together, or just like, and I mean, I was even watching Brah-ing had his own project that was happening at the time, and he was going through this same dilemma where it's like, you get all these people and you're like, oh guys, we're playing together, we're playing shows, we're a band, right? And then the other people don't feel the same. And it was kind of like, I wanted to, I don't know, get the steps done first. And it's my friend. So it's also like, if it was just a random musician that was in LA or something and I was getting to know, then it would feel different. But it's kind of like dating your friend in a way, where you're like, all right, I know we're best friends first. And we kind of had these nice dates and these romantic, adventures together. But now, like, are we in a relationship? And it adds that extra layer. And I'm also just like a generally self-conscious, overthinking type person. And so I think a lot of that feeds into it. But it's kind of like that. And also, like, I want it to be like, cool, if you're in the band, you understand this journey that we're on together. It isn't just like, yeah, man, we like play some shows and do it. It's like, it's just like this grand, at least in my head, because I have to extrapolate everything to like the nth degree as far as it can go in the future. This is like, okay, cool. You get the vision, like we all are together on the same thing, and whatever. So I think I probably built it up to be too much than it needed to be, but it was the same thing. So I now have, aside from my other relationship, actual relationship, I have my 3-way relationship with my band buddies, and it's a great thing.
I do think it made us strong.
To quickly respond to your analogy, for me, it kind of felt like you and I bought a car and are driving on our way to Austin, and we pull over at a rest stop in Phoenix, and you're like, hey man, do you want to go to Texas? No, dude, actually, you keep the car. I'm going to book a flight
I'm just gonna Uber back, man. Yeah.
I just want to make sure like see you this far, and like I'm gonna fly back to LA. We're good. And this is like, dude, we are well on our way to Texas.
Oh my God.
I don't have the time to ask me if
very fair.
What we're finding out here is that the boys in good terms are gonna put together the only bands of Tinder, just to like triple check with everybody. Like swipe right. I know we're in the band, but swipe right. I just gotta check the vibes every time.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
It's not even Tinder for musicians. It's Tinder for your own band members that you're currently playing music with.
Tinder for people you personally already know.
It needs to be. There can be no left swipes. If there's any
I
left
know
swipes,
a couple people who need that. Honestly.
Ooh.
You swiped. Okay, you swiped left. Shit. All right.
All right, so I guess I am on the phone calling you. What the fuck is up?
No,
Why'd you swipe left?
I think you're like super onto something. Like I actually like just had like a moment of epiphany where I'm just like, dude, an app where like everyone at any time can go onto it and let them let people know how you feel about them in that moment. So it's like, no, I still like you, and so you don't have to reach out and go, hey, are they mad at me? Like, do they like me still?
I
Are we
also
still
feel
good?
like that's very Black Mirror, but like not as extreme as that one Black Mirror episode.
It's like Black Mirror, where our anxiety then like drives creation of apps and shit for people
but
to like.
imagine
get
if somebody
over their
in your
anxiety.
band doesn't have anxiety. First of all, can't relate, couldn't
Can't relate.
imagine.
not this band.
remotely the case.
Not this band.
We're not in danger of that.
I'm just saying, like, if you had an app that literally at all times of the day, people in your life could just check in and let you know whether they hate you or they love you or they're mad at you or they're all good. Like, if you could have that, I think everybody with anxiety would be like, I need all my friends to get on this app. I'm double checking every 20 minutes, like, notifies you, like, hey, so and so's mad at you. And you're just like, okay, well, end friendship with that person. I
think you're supposed to alleviate and be like, text them like, hey, what's up? Not just that's it. I can't deal with this anymore. Too much.
My circle gets smaller and smaller based on this app that I've come up with right now.
But
if go for it.
It could solve the ghosting problem, because if you just wanted to end, you could just like click end friendship in the app and it would just go back to the original person. You're like, hey, they're ghosting you. And now you know.
My God.
And now here's the ghosts of all your past friendship photos for you to remember, reminisce, and then
you have a graveyard. You have a friendship graveyard.
The graveyard, yes.
See everybody that you don't want to talk to anymore.
Where the fuck is the app developers in the chat?
Guys,
I think maybe I just think about this every night before I go to sleep anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's to alleviate that. It's so you can get to sleep.
I just if like all of our individual therapists just talk to each other, so then it'd just be like, yeah, man, I just feel like this and this and this, and like, that's not the case. No, I have it on high authority that is not the case. You are overthinking this. Let it go.
Can you like release can you release that? Like you can write like a statement, be like, I want my personal information and notes from my therapist to go to this other person's therapist solely for the fact that we can run this band efficiently.
Yes. All thoughts and issues pertaining to persons undersigned can, it would just be, because there's still like separation of powers there. Like none of us are like still talking about it. And like, I'm not talking to like someone else's therapist, but there's like,
it's just lawyers. We're just letting the lawyers.
A council of people who are like, this is something that they should know because I know it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's dangerous business, but I'm here for it.
Anyway,
Dangerous business.
That's the story of our band.
Overthinking. That's exactly the story of our band.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you overthought it enough to become the friendly neighborhood emo band, which I'm wondering if you had made a Spider-Man theme to go with that yet.
We haven't. That's one of the few things we didn't overthink.
Okay.
That was the placeholder that just didn't ever go away.
Yeah, we were making our. Ivan was like, yeah, we should lock in our. Now that we've like determined that we're good terms, we should like lock in our socials and stuff. And we made the Instagram and it said nothing, and I was like, I don't know. I was just going to write something in here and just wrote your friendly neighborhood emo band and was like, all right, that's fine for now. And just never took it away. And yeah, it stuck.
Yeah.
It worked.
I like it. Spider-Man was my hero growing up. Superhero.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You have them. So you haven't done a. Listen, I'm having a bunch of ideas right now. Clearly, ideas just popping up in my head.
Spill.
Band promo photo where you're all pointing at one another.
The Spider-Man meme.
Spider-Man.
Oh my
meme.
god.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be the band promo photo where I'm hanging upside down and they're all taking turns kissing me.
Ooh, really good, dude.
Texting Sam Laponis right now.
Oh my god.
Hey man, do you know of a location where we can suspend Ivan upside down?
Gio's gonna come back from his vacation, and then you're gonna be like, just meet at this location, just dress up this one way.
Ideas.
Okay, cool.
You know
and they're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck?
Come back and be not shocked at all.
No, Gio would be like, well, wait a minute. It should be me. Gio would definitely be like, oh no, you guys got to kiss me. It's me. He would come upside down.
Yeah, convincing Gio to kiss Ivan on the lips for a picture would probably be the easiest thing I ever had to convince.
Oh my
him,
god,
honestly.
That's so true. Oh man.
Now it sounds like you were already in a relationship with your band. Like you were already dating everybody in the band.
Oh, we're fully married.
Yeah.
It's far beyond a relationship. Yeah. The lawyers would be involved in this breakup at this point.
was there no prenup?
No, none of us have any
Absolutely
net
not.
worth.
I mean, there's a lease agreement. That's about it.
A lease agreement, yeah. Because you
Yeah,
guys live
I've
together,
been
right?
sharing walls, but that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm about 100 feet away from them.
Yeah.
In the house behind. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I found
Yeah,
that
we have
like
a little-
Cans.
I know that like obviously doing it all yourselves is like, you know, DIY, that DIY part of it where you're like, we're going to do it all on our own, working it on our own. And obviously like developing those skills puts you all in that place. But I think that like the hardest part about being a band is like being in the same place and like getting everybody organized to be in one place. And I'm like, dude, the house. And that's why there's like band houses, streamer houses. Lizzie, it's still not on the table.
Wow.
I don't want roommates.
Absolutely.
That's my problem.
Let's hash this out.
That's a you problem. And that's a me coming
problem.
to your house where I know where you live and kicking your ass problem.
Lizzie shows up and then we just stream and then that's what it is. So I guess like that's probably been the easy part is like having everything there, having the access to kind of write and work on it with people and just kind of like, hey, I'm coming over. I'm coming into your room. Knock, knock.
I think, I mean, we still have to schedule stuff a lot to a degree because all of us are like, you know, we all have, when we're not doing various other things, we typically all work from home on something. And so it's kind of like just blocking out the time in our schedule to do it. But I think where it's, and especially Gio he lives like 25 minutes away from us, which is not bad, but it's still like, okay, we kind of have to like when all of us want to be together, we have to kind of organize that. I think where it's at least when we're like writing or being productive or something, but where it's really come in handy is like those midnight conversations of kind of maybe we're watching a movie or something. It's just the three of us or hanging out and like so many ideas for like, what do we want our, you know, vibe to be on social media? What do we want our image to be? Like all this kind of like seemingly non-important things that it would be kind of absurd to like make a meeting to talk about. Like obviously it's not, you have to talk about it, but it's not natural. Whereas we kind of just be like, what do you think about this? And especially the three of us could just be like, I don't know, like and it would just turn into us talking until, you know,
3 a.m.
So 3 a.m. Like there was definitely like a year, especially when Ivan first moved here. And because there was an open room in kid's house, and it was originally just the two of us living next to each other, and then it conveniently worked out that Ivan moved in, and especially when he moved in, it just became all of us sitting there all the time, just like kind of, you know, sucking everything out and being like
manifesting everything.
And then we were locked up. You know, we were like kind of getting ready to we were talking about our first show in May 2020. Like we, you know, the album was getting finished, you know, being mastered and whatnot, and we were getting ready to go, and we were starting to figure out like, okay, well, maybe we should make a music video or something. And then everything got shut down, and it was like, oh, what are we gonna do? And we came together to make just the most freaking amount of content I have ever thought of ever. And we're still making it, but I mean that's how 8 music videos happened for sure.
Yeah,
Is it
definitely.
8 8 full music. I mean, 2 of them are just me doing the clip stuff. But yeah, 8 music videos.
And more
stuff to think about.
And and all the stuff that's on social media and stuff. And it was a lot of work and it was a lot of fun. I think it was the most fun for me out of everybody. But that couldn't have. How the hell could we have made? Could you imagine us trying to make 8 music videos without that lockdown?
No.
But it was just us stuck on this little driveway. Can't go past the driveway without a mask. So what are we gonna do?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a blessing in disguise for sure. I don't know that our rollout would have happened if we weren't locked down, because I was gone for like no less than 3/5 of the year prior to that, and just like always on the road. And yeah, having that just like, well, you have to do something here. So it definitely worked out.
I say 8 music videos. There's also the playthrough videos. The first of one had 6 full attempts before we made the one that went on YouTube. Like we're talking like 20 videos here. Like lots of stuff.
We had a lot of time to figure it out. I think.
A lot of time to figure it out. Imagine if we had been able to make music then too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We did. We made a lot of music then, just not for this record.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are one of the few bands that I saw like doing a lot of like other, just live streams, and then also like making all these music videos. Like I know everybody else was trying to do stuff that wasn't in person for the most part, or they were just trying to do ones like, through their phone and be like, yeah, we're like in COVID, like we all understand this vibe. But when I was like going through all your guys' stuff, I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool to see that like you kept up with it and you kept it with the game. But I did also see that you did like a more like traditional, like actually like, big professional product of like a music video too. Yeah. That was released. So how was that like going to that situation compared to what you guys have been doing?
It was almost not different at all, because the difference in personnel between our last 3 or 4 releases is like almost nothing. It was just like, so for the first, I or Kid edited the first 4 videos, 5-ish.
First 5 videos.
Yeah. And then, and we brought our buddy Sam Laponis on to shoot our 4th video. He was unavailable for our 5th, or he surely would have shot that one as well. But then when we did our 6th, that's when we realized like, oh, you should take editing and all that off of our hands as well, because it's just a nightmare to do. Like if you're not set up for that, if that's not what you do, I don't have any regrets. Like I'm glad I learned how to do everything, but having Sam just involving one of our like very close friends, and just having it like plus 100 immediately, which is incredible.
So Sam Laponis is the guy who does probably the more produced videos that you're referring to. I'm in another punk rock band with him called Give In, and he's a crazy screamer in a crazy heavy metalcore band called Marked Life. And he also just somehow has time and energy to be really dope at videos. And, he's got his gear and whatnot, but he just has the vision and the energy and the creativity and just gets it done. Only person with a face tattoo that makes me go, damn, that looks sick.
Yeah. Real talk.
So, I feel like the first 5 videos we made, were like some like GoPro clip stuff, really homemade stuff. There was some stuff we went out and we got a studio for light at the end and tried to make something out of that. And same thing with Turning Point, and we tried to make more of a set but it's still so DIY, and I felt like we were just trying to just do it with enough energy to attract somebody to be like, hey man, I think it'd be cool to work with you. And so I was in a band with Sam, and eventually he did the shooting for Hamster Wheel, and he was like, yeah man, I think it'd be really sick to do a whole Good Terms video. And so we're going to do Pedestal, because Pedestal is our heaviest song, and Sam is in a crazy heavy band. We're like, this would be freaking sick to do with you. And as soon as we did that, that's the one in, the Red Heart, hotel honeymoon suite. That was just like, oh my God, dude. It was still like a ton of work, and, we did a lot of it ourselves, but
it felt like a cheat code. It was just like, wait, you mean like
But it was just,
like,
it was,
if anything, it was less effort put into that video because like the weight was so much like better distributed, and like the amount of effort that I put into Light at the End, I put a quarter of that into Pedestal, and it was just by adding in Sam, who just like knew what the fuck was up, and also just like camera skills aside, he's such a musical person.
Yeah.
That the way that he shoots, the way that he operates the camera, and the way that he interacts, is just makes sense. And so you as the consumer, like feel like you're in it so much more because of the way that he shoots, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like a quick cheat code, just like add Sam upon us and plus 1,000 on your production value.
Yeah. Also, I mean, all of it it all happened really naturally. Like we knew at least from the first, from when we were starting, we were like, we didn't, we had a specific budget of what we knew we wanted to spend, and we were down to spend on marketing stuff. Like we've been running ads and such. We were like, we wanted to feel worth it, and we wanted to feel like we're not just spending money to make ourselves feel good, and be like, oh, I did something. Like, oh, people saw it. Oh, it has 60,000 fake Spotify streams from bots or something. Like we were like, okay, if we got to do something that's going to reach real people. And I think the first thing we started with was like, well, we have all this GoPro footage. We're releasing this single. We don't have a video for it. Like this is funny and kind of like shows, I don't know, a side of our personality and whatever else. And let's just whip it together. And that's the Wither Away video. And then Brian just made a video with his dog for the song All I Can, which is about a long distance relationship, being like, oh, it's about me missing my dog, and kind of recontextualizes. But both those were more like lyric videos. I think by the time we got into Light at the End, we were like, all right, cool, let's like up it a little bit. Let's just get a space. And, that was like, I don't know, that was October or November of COVID. And we were like, fuck, like, and especially that was like second wave. And we were like, Geo is fortunately, he was like in our just past our house COVID circle. So we were like, okay, we have branched to like, from 8 to like 15 at that time. We're all getting tested like once a week. And we had to for other jobs that we were to, but still just like, it's on high alert. Fortunately, at least for, doing everything during COVID, the next person that we involved, Sam, and then obviously Geo, are two of our best friends who we would have been around anyway. So it's kind of like, okay, so we just kind of used all these resources here. And yeah, I think like we just kind of followed that, and we're like, all right, we like Light at the End. Like we think it kind of like it tells people about us. We think it's, it looks kind of low budget, but it's interesting. And I feel like you get to know us in some way. It isn't like trying to tell the story of a song in some boring way. That's my like biggest pet peeve of music videos. And, it branched off from there. Like I think all of us, we all have different feelings about our videos, but there's been some that have been like, like Hamster Wheel is apparently our highest performing video on ads. Like, and we are all like, yeah, the video's kind of whatever. And like, we like the new ones that are more production value, but apparently Hamster Wheel is the one that pushes people with Spotify if they see it on Instagram story or something. So we're like, all right, cool. Like, I think it's kind of just like, you just have to be honest with yourself about, what interests you and what you would want to see. And then say like, all right, cool. Well, whatever means necessary, we're going to make that. Like if we thought, guys, like the way is to make a $20,000 music video or some bullshit. And instead it was like, all right, what can we do with $150, a couple boxes of pizza, and just like our own hard work? And that was Light at the End. And then it was like, all right, we did that. Can we elevate it a little bit more and see if we can make it better? And it was kind of just moving in that step. But I think, I don't know, me personally, like I never see some like crazy slick thing. Usually, if anything, it makes me like it less. So like, I feel like, especially on the last two videos, we were like, we want it to look awesome. We want it to look really high quality and like really professional, but also still retain the like, yes, this is us and our vision, and just kind of like the whole Good Terms experience just consolidated into, a 3.5 minute long, whatever video. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing.
I feel like one interesting thing about the videos is we made a lot of the music without thinking of ourselves as a band. Like, I don't think we named the band until we had finished writing every song on the record. So
I would even say it was on its way to being mastered before we decided.
It was the night we finished drums.
Really? That's when we decided on it, or that's when we chose it?
Yeah, because we went back to Gio's. We went back to Gio's house and talked about it.
Yeah, time.
But basically, I feel like all of my band memories with Good Terms are only making the music videos, and all of the songs are all these like different kind of scattered things that like that it happened. We have a session, and then there'd be like a month where there was nothing in Zach's band world, as it was called at the time, and it was. And then when we finally came together to be like, this is a band, it was all videos. It was this whole other aspect of being a band that we hadn't thought about. That was the first thing we like really, really worked on together.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we did Light at the End first, the way that we did it, because that was the first one that we shot. Besides, like, we did All I Can in April, which is just like, we literally can't leave this like fenced in area, so let's do a golden hour photo shoot with the dog because that'll work. But like Light at the End, I think we spent as much or more money on food for the people there than the space itself.
Yeah.
And what's important to note is like, it's not that we couldn't have spent $1,000 on that video. Like, we could have, but there was we had no idea what the fuck was going on or what we were doing or what we wanted things to be. I had the most like just critical anxiety about being in a video at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't even like when I'm on stage, I'm stage left and I'm just like, how far in the wings next to the Obamas can I get right now?
I remember like looking back at your like first shots for Light at the End, like after you do them and look back at the camera. And Brian Jones, who was doing the video, being like, "No, Ivan, you look cool, man. Like, really, you do. You look cool." And Ivan just being like, "Yeah, maybe if I do this."
Other friends I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I like consulted people. I was like, I physically fucking cannot be on camera and like look like someone you want to watch on. I can't do it. And then Light at the End, just like, figured that out, popped that cherry, and I was just like, okay, so
it was
beautiful. I don't want to die when
it was like watching a butterfly burst out of the.
Oh my god, the cocoon.
Something
really,
much bigger.
Because you go from the guy on the sidelines of the shoot, you go from that to like pedestal when there's some sort of solo shot with Gio and Ivan, and they're doing like funny stuff and jumping off of each other and whatnot. It's like he's grown. He's done so much.
I'm so proud of him, our boy.
I think like if we had tried to shoot pedestal at Light at the End time, like that video up front, it would have been a fucking train wreck, and I would have been way more concerned about wasting $1,000, $2,000 on something. And then by the time we actually got there, we're making videos that I like objectively better than videos that did cost $20,000.
I think also like we try to strike the balance between this is something that is like we think people would like and would maybe people want to check us out or listen to our music more often, like balancing that side of things with also being like what feels correct. If you ever have that like monkey dance feeling, that's like that's not why we're doing this. Like, and I've seen people kind of like, because I produce too, and I produce like, various other artists, and I kind of like keep up with, how like whatever they're doing with their marketing, and I have my opinions, but I usually just kind of like, all right, I just make your songs all good. Like I'm not, if you ask my opinion, I'll give it to you, but it's not really my like role to interfere. And I see sometimes someone's like adamant, like, this is gonna work, like this is great, we have to do this, and then everyone's like, dude, this feels really uncomfortable, and is like, that's going back to the whole like relationship thing. It's like, all right, cool, like, yeah, this is my thing, and I started it, whatever, but like I never want it to be like, I have any authoritarian rule, or more important, like it's all four of us equally being like, does this feel good? Yes. Like there's sometimes you have to challenge yourselves a little bit, but like Ivan, in what he was talking about, like kind of his performance anxiety and stuff, he was like, I know I have to do this, and he like rose to the occasion and fucking killed it. So I think there's a difference between like something like that and then feeling like when you're not, comfortable in your own skin, and that's not something any of us are ever trying to do, especially with this band. yeah, I don't know if we like went on an insane tangent.
Perfect.
Listen, we enjoy the tangents.
Yeah.
Good.
You made me
what the original one was.
You made me think of this meme that we always are talking about where we watch like old Hawthorne Heights music videos and we just see like fucking and we've met JT Woodruff and we don't speak to him, like we don't know him, but like
listen, I want to say Hawthorne Heights is one of my favorite bands. This has just like gotten so out of hand.
Absolutely,
I'm so here for this.
So I DJ the Emo Night LA in Chicago, or at least did back in the before times. And so he was like a guest DJ on that night, and I go up into the green room. I've told the story so many times in the pod, so I'm sure everybody's like really annoyed that they're like, God, we get it. He's an android. I go up the stairs and he's just like sitting there. And if you've seen like Parks and Rec with the one politician who just like sits there like staring at the wall and he like just responds like a robot. And that's what was happening. He wasn't even like sitting there on his phone. He's just kind of like looking forward. I'm like, hey man, nice to meet you. I'm Brah-ing. He's like, hey. It's fun time down there. He's like, yep. I'm like, he's not like being mean. Candidate. He's just like, yeah, he's just like kind of just like, I don't know. The algorithm was running in his head.
There's no rebound there.
Yeah. So you see him in a music video and like looking back at everything. And like, I was like, we watch him on our streams or whatever. And like, damn, that dude is just a robot. Like that dude just is like,
whoa.
That dude's got nothing but beeps and boops going on in his head.
Beeps and boops.
Wow.
So I mean, at the very least, I think if you or anybody else out there is like, I don't know what I look like on a video, I don't know what I'm gonna look like, just watch JT Woodruff, and like as long as you like kind of smile
animated.
or like do something with your hands or just like have like a soul, I think you'd be fine.
Oh my god. Listen, I got like a Facebook memory of when I saw Hawthorne Heights at Bottom Lounge here for the If Only You Were Lonely anniversary tour, and me and my best friend, because it's our best friend band, we got a photo with JT Woodruff, and he was kind of smiling, but I was trying to like recall the interaction. I can't recall it, so I don't remember if it was as animatronic as you have experienced, but it could have been. But he had a little smile. He was like,
this is how the people do it, right? I'm smiling like the people. It's just.
So here's what I want you guys to do. Next time you see him, I want you to ask him. I want you to show him 6 pictures and ask him to pick out which ones have crosswalks in them.
Oh my god!
See what he does.
That's the only way he's allowed entry into any other Emo Night DJ session.
Shit.
Hey, you can only go up these steps at Sub T if you do the captcha right. Thank you.
Hey, how's
Which
it going?
One of these has chimneys in them.
You could read all the letters and numbers in this real quick.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Can you do this complex math equation in under like 5 minutes? That's the only way in.
If you're not a robot, you can click on this right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Click right there, dude. If you're not a robot, I swear you can do it.
That's hilarious.
God, it just shuts down.
That is sick that you DJ the Chicago Emo Night. Also, very cool you guys are in Chicago. I'll definitely hit you up next time we're there. And I think Ivan and I will probably... Actually, Brian will be there before us. Brian's
I'm there.
on tour.
I'm going there for the first time. I'm really excited.
Oh my god. When?
I think the very... second week of September, something like that.
Are you coming for Riot Fest?
Pre-Riot Fest, or are you just coming?
No, I am playing. I'm on tour. We're on tour with another band that Zach produces.
Shh, they haven't announced it yet, but but he's going on tour with somebody. So
Damn. Well, I should have just said the band Zach produces and not said what we were doing, because that would be way cooler.
Is it here? We could do this around. Is it? Are you coming to Chicago the day that the Jonas Brothers are playing Summerfest on September 8th? Because I will be there.
No.
Not in Chicago.
Oh my god.
If only Kid was playing with them, and if only I produced the Jonas Brothers.
Are any of you a Jonas brother?
I've never been to Chicago, so I am when I saw that, I same with Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta. I'm gonna go there too, but not that you care about that. This is a Chicago podcast.
Yeah,
Atlanta's fun though.
I'm a massive Fall Out Boy fan.
Hell yeah!
And I just want to be there.
I mean, they're more in your neck of the woods now, anyway, than our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
They're more around your area.
Of course. But the records I like, no offense, I fully respect current day Fall Out Boy, but the records I like were all made in Chicago.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's good.
I love LA too, though. I'm here.
Also, big emo night stand right here, especially emo night LA. That's like,
hell yeah.
I mean,
we will be making appearances.
That's exactly. We'll
as
be making
consumers.
As
at
consumers,
our first emo night back. Would
Yeah,
love to make an appearance as a band. Also, as soon as possible.
love
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Usually here we do a emo karaoke, which does pretty well. We're just waiting for that to be safe enough.
I used
for our
to
usual
be involved
venue.
in emo live band karaoke. It was one of the best events I've ever been to. It was the place where I screamed in public for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Still
obviously it's gone away, but maybe it'll come back.
Here's the thing, though. You have to scream sing the entire part of Giving Up. And
Oh my
hold that
God.
note.
The Linkin Park
shit.
song.
Yeah.
No, I screamed Under Oath. I screamed
Okay.
What was it?
Boy Brush Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was my first thing, yeah.
I also have a great video of you singing Back in Black particularly well.
Ooh.
But that was at a different
Yeah,
actual
that's
karaoke
the
night.
regular karaoke song.
That's
That's
not
the
a,
non-emo karaoke song.
yeah.
Unreal shit.
Pull that out at an emo karaoke. People would be like, I mean, we know it. We just don't necessarily.
Yeah,
want
we're
it.
just going to be like,
Well,
No
out
mosh
there's,
pits for Back in Black, y'all. Come on, guys.
I found it sometimes when somebody takes a risk, if they take a risk but it's a popular song at emo night, people are usually look around and they're like, yeah, we all like this.
Dude.
Like somebody DJ'd Chop Suey and I was like,
that
I
one
don't
is
see a
we all
problem with that.
appropriate.
I don't see an
Absolutely.
issue with that. I want to
System
ask
of
a
Down is
question.
like-
I went to an emo night. It wasn't emo night in LA. It was like another local emo night when I was in LA for MCR. And I went with one of my friends because he lives out there. And I went in and they played Say Anything. And I was like, yeah, Say Anything. My friend's like, I've never heard of this band. And I said, excuse me, but when Weezer came on, it was like on site, like a fucking pit. And I was like, there's a cognitive disconnect going on here. Is this something that occurs to you guys too?
Fuck no. If Say Anything comes on, everyone's ripping to it.
Okay.
yeah, I think also, I don't know what when you went to.
It was like at Moroccan Lounge. something
Moroccan
like
Lounge.
that.
Oh God, that's where I did the emo karaoke.
It might have been Brian playing, honestly.
That's where I did emo karaoke. Was at the Moroccan Lounge. Yeah. That could have.
emo karaoke?
No,
sure
it was
played
just
Say-
it was just like an emo night, but not like emo night LA, but like a
okay.
normal, like your local emo night, like we have out here too. So I was like
Okay,
familiar
okay.
with the vibe. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The emo nights in other cities, like from what I've seen on Instagram, look like they're fucking sick and, very good. I'm sure the Chicago one is like a blast. Obviously, I've never been, but the LA one is like, it's insane. I mean, it feels like you're in, I don't know, like the most exclusive, insane club experience, except they're just like, I don't know. It's a magical experience. I mean, I've heard plenty of my friends that are like meh about it, have plenty of criticism, some of which I'm like, okay, I see how you got that, but man, it's just a fucking blast. And like now they have the advanced tickets and shit, but before we used to just like brave the line and get there. We had a little trick that I won't say because we might want to do it again.
Yeah.
But no, we would do the whole line situation and like, yeah, I mean, it was very worth it. And it was like, I think honestly, that was a huge catalyst for Good Terms starting, was kind of me being like, not out of touch, but like feeling kind of like, the energy failing in like going to like 2015 Warped Tour and being like, because I was living in Boston at the time and obviously like Boston, punk music, emo music, like huge thing. I remember going with my girlfriend and being like, we're gonna like be injured for sure because it's gonna be insane, and having kind of like it was still full, but it was like,
Yeah.
I'm like front row for 4 Years Strong and like against the barricade and I'm like, fine, that's not correct. And
Fine.
In Boston.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like that was kind of like a lull. And then as soon as I moved out here, someone was like, oh, dude, like, you got to go to, like, just my friends that had lived here were like, oh, we're going to go to this thing called Emo Night. It's so awesome. Like, we have to go in the line super early. And, like, Haley Williams DJ'd last month. Like, it's this whole crazy thing. It's like, what? Like, what is this thing that I've clearly never heard of? And it was, like, obviously not this extreme, but, like, going there as however old I was, like 23 or something. Like I definitely compare that feeling to like going to my first Warped Tour when I was, 13 or something, and being like, wow, like this is just punk rock Disneyland. And like, that like, different feeling. Like you can't really compare a emo night to a Warped Tour, but same thing of kind of like, not that I was always like the person that just never left the scene world, and everybody else was kind of like, yeah, I don't really care for Motionless in White. I'm going to kind of not listen to this world of music anymore. Me being like, oh, but all the same people are so really good. You should care. It's really great. The story's so far. Oh my God, it's so good. And like, and kind of just feeling like the energy dissipate around me, and then like immediately just going back to 100 again, like with everyone around me. And it's like, fuck. It was like, a couple months into my job too. And I was like, oh my God. It was that and like a couple other... Oh, here we go. A couple other turning points around that same time.
Got him.
We're definitely like, okay, shit. This is like just continually informing me of what the fuck I need to be doing, and definitely what I need to be not
throw
doing,
it back in.
which was a lot of things I was doing at the time. So, yeah, big ups to Emo Night. Love them.
Big ups.
Well, we're at about an hour, a little over. A little around there. I don't know. Cool. Keep talking for a little bit, but I do want to give an opportunity here to throw out all your plugs. Let people know where they can find you. It could be the band, it could be all of you individually as well. You guys are fun. You guys are nice, handsome boys. You got to get the followers up too. So yeah, throw out where can people find you on the internet?
Man, most places is just at Good Terms Band. TikTok, we're just at Good Terms. That's, you'll find
Facebook?
us. Oh, Facebook is Good Terms 69 to make it just more
Love it.
difficult for
Good Terms
everybody.
Band was
in the
taken.
chat. Nice in the chat, please.
Nice, yeah.
Nice as only.
Yeah, if you want to follow me and see me post my obsessive collection with sick colored vinyl, you can follow me at Zach, ZACHJ Boucher. And then, yeah, you guys insert your plugs.
Good Term for me. Good Terms is the same information for my Good Terms. But then check out, come hang out with me on my personal Instagram. It's Newsgit, NEWSGIT. I do a lot of like lo-fi jazz hop. It's got just fucking nothing to do with emo music, except that emo music, and in the back of my videos is all of my emo stuff. And it's just where I hang out and talk to people. So, Newsgit. And
I am a extremely safe IG follow at IvanBerry13 because you're not gonna see me spamming you with grid posts. You're gonna get one a season. And you're like, that's important. I should look at that. I'm not the person who's like just a mirror selfie or a fucking something twice a day, which no shame to anyone else. I got to follow somebody, but I'm a very safe. You're gonna be like, did I mute him? Nope, you didn't. He's waiting for the right time.
He's like, really, I'm Batman in the background.
Yeah. Yes, I'm definitely not a billionaire orphan, but I'm just saying. If you guys want to come hang, it's a very safe follow.
And I don't know what Gio's personal social is, but
it's like underscore Geo, or it's BY underscore Geo, GEO, I think.
Yeah, you're gonna want to follow him because he's about to release music that is not Good Terms, and it's extremely fucking good.
Oh yeah, it's some of the best music.
He's also a Hut.
Yeah, so. he also as he calls himself, Ugly Harry Styles. Which by that he's still super fucking hot.
It's honestly pretty close to correct.
Is that his like username though on things? Like he has his app, but is that like the username? I feel like he'd get attention from people. They'd be like, "Let me see what this really guy's talking about." Then they're like, "Oh, I see."
Harry Styles was a muscle twink.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Wow.
That's it.
Huh. Whoa, you nailed it. A muscle twink.
I'm just saying.
Muscle twink. Damn, that could be his tag. That could be a tagline too, couldn't it?
It could be, and rightfully should be, but it won't be.
I love that he's not here to have any response or any.
Oh yeah, no,
about
he's gonna like maybe
moment.
listen back to this. He's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about me for?
It's
like
okay.
He will
this?
not be shocked at all.
Yeah,
We'll
this is
Okay.
all
say
I'm
whatever we
serious.
want because he's probably not going to listen. So let's just go for it. Yeah. Swole twink, muscle
His social
twink,
security
whatever we
number
wanna do.
follows as this.
He's the guy who's
Brian, you're gonna have to clip
just,
this one, so when we put it out on like TikTok, then he'll see it.
Yeah, this would be the way.
Amazing.
Well, all right. We'll keep chatting over on Twitch for a little bit. We got some people that are hanging out over there, so we'll keep talking a little bit over on Twitch. You can follow us there if you want to join these conversations in the future. Until then, make sure you're checking out Good Terms. Watch all 8 videos and listen to all the songs. Million views by Monday.
Right up
I
in the
guess.
background.
You got 1 week for million views. Each one of them. 8 million watches. I think it works that way.
I love that.
To the
It's the
moon,
community
to the moon.
spirit. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
community spirit, everybody.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll continue talking over on Twitch, but I want to thank you for the recording, for being here, everybody. Good terms. Brian, Zach, Ivan, we did it.
We all did it.